Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
It's week 1 of the National Football League, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the 49ers and the Seahawks, next on EA Sports.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, there's nothing quite like it. That feeling of beginning another NFL season, and these two squads, they're going to do just that in a moment.
And what makes it so exciting is the range of possibilities these teams have before them, because we could be seeing one of these teams earn the Lombardi Trophy in February, while the other, they could earn the #1 draft pick in April or anything in between. And we've got the best seat in the house every step of the way.
Men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And off we go from Seattle. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
All right, I know it's something that every team says every season, but they genuinely believe that this is their year, and having him at quarterback is a big part of that. They think he's poised for a huge season and can really be the type of player that brings out the best of each weapon that they have on this offense. Behind that type of performance, their goals are high. They envision a lot of wins and finishing among the league's best on their side of the ball.
16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Now, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And now it's second down. Now it's Jennings. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard.
And right away, he lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line. They need 18 yards here on third down.
Brings up third down.
Here's Darnold. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now he'll try to run with this. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. To the sideline and incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They went 3 and out on their first drive of the new season. Not an ideal beginning as they start drive number 2, 1st and 10. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Here's Darnold. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Walker now on 1st and 10. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Back to throw, Darnold. A quick throw there is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Darnold. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is taken at the 15. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Shotgun now with Purdy. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Delay of game.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. McCaffrey running up the middle. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
How about the show put on by these two defenses in this first half? The fireworks don't have to be just offensively. Neither one of them giving an inch, and that's good coverage once again there to force another 4th down.
This is taken at about the 14. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Now it's Darnold. And complete to Smith and Jigba. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Darnold now to throw. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Off of play action, Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. We're scoreless after one. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Darnold. And that one too wide and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Purdy. Open man, the former Gator. It's Ricky Pearsall. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Back to throw, Purdy. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. Throwing here, Purdy. It's caught by Jennings. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Out of the gun, Purdy. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Purdy now to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Seahawks are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. After the interception, here's Darnold. He finds Smith and Jigba. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Faking the give, Darnold under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
When you spend your first-round pick on a pass rusher, you are absolutely counting on him to be an impact player. And there you go. Right away, he gets to the quarterback.
And guess what? Likely the first of many that we're going to see from that young man. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Here's Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That right there, career catch number 541, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, who also obviously played the tight end position.
Yeah, and helped revolutionize it when he was in San Diego. But how about what we're seeing right here? You're talking about 541 catches at the tight end position. You talk about lofty territory, rare air. He has a lot to be proud of in his career.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 3rd and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jennings. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Able to get away. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. They juked him. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Back to throw, Darnold. He'll get that to Charbonnet. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Boy, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. Again, Darnold. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Here's Darnold. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there's a 49er who's in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Darnold. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Purdy. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Purdy looking to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Purdy. And that's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. To throw again on 2nd down. Purdy. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Purdy will look to throw again here. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with only 9 seconds remaining, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll get started over at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Kyler Murray, a touchdown pass in the victory. From there, let's head to New Jersey. The Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Breece Hall, well over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run as well. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it was the visiting Dolphins who were able to get the victory. Tyreek Hill, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. We saw the former All-Pro Christian McCaffrey up to his old tricks in that first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And they'll accept that penalty. Now Darnold. And complete to Smith-Njigba. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. To throw is Darnold. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try to chip someone at the second level.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the Niners' 31-yard line.
And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Here's Darnold. And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Field goal. A 48-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Up past the 30, second down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to lead to a third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And his throw is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Play action. It's Darnold. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game. So
they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. The Niners set to take over on offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Throwing here, Purdy. That's to the sideline and incomplete. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw, Purdy. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And going right back to Walker. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Darnold now to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Nick Bosa in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Purdy now to throw. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
You just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. McCaffrey will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And it's It's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. 5 plays there on that drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 21 yards there on third down.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time as we have now reached the end of the third quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Faking the give, Darnold. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Hand off here to Walker. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now it's Darnold. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And that is incomplete. A 4th and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down 1 score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
Well, not good at all. A punt of just 24 yards there. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. The tight end in motion right. Here's Purdy. connects with Kittle underneath. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And the 49ers first down.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Now a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Purdy. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
First down, 49ers.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. The Niners on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'd been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Seahawks are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And he's got Smith-Njigba. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A good pickup there at 22. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now a run with Walker. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Darnold. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity missed there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. Big sigh of relief, huh?
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it. They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The play fake, and it's Darnold. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Darnold. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. The Niners offense and Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Purdy looking to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Purdy. That's complete to Robinson. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And not much room to speak of. They'll get about 3 up to the 41. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Down to a knee, and the defense, they can't stop that clock. A couple more of those, and it's going to be victory. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And just how they envisioned the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like 1 time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the 49ers, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.